What's up, guys? I'm Tim Gettys. This is Nick Scarpino. Holy crap, Nick.
Yeah. It's pretty
Star
dope.
Wars TIE Fighter.
It's pretty dope, man.
Short film just released. This like 80s anime style take on Star Wars.
Yeah. That dropped by a fine gentleman named Paul Johnson. You can check that out over on his channel. We're probably linking to it right here. But just in case
We're definitely not doing that.
We're not linking to it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We're not going to link to it. You can check out on his channel, OTA King 77077. Hard to believe there was 7,776 other OTA Kings. I'm not sure why he decided to go with that. Maybe pick another moniker. Anyway, this guy is a one-man band. He obviously had some help. You can see in the credits. He had a few other people work on this, but he builds himself.
Real quick, it will be in the description.
Yeah, that's
the link's
sorry.
gonna be in the description.
The link will be in the description.
On the
Yeah, he took a while. It took a while to make this, and he's a one-man animator, and decided that, you know, if you check out his channel, he's got a lot of cool stuff on it. But this obviously is going to be one of his most notable works because it is a wicked cool short film, about 10 minutes long, featuring a awesome battle in space between TIE fighters and X-wings. Basically, the Empire, the Rebel Alliance.
But what's cool is it's from the Empire's perspective, mainly,
right?
And the bad guys win. It's one of those
spoilers.
Spoiler alert. But what's crazy about this is there was actually like a very short test version of this that came out a couple of years ago.
Which I remember.
Like I want to say 3 or 4 years ago.
And I was like, that thing looks dope.
Yeah, and I remember I was so excited back when we were at IGN when we were running the channel Start on YouTube, youtube.com/start.
You can check it out right now.
There's still things there.
Go ahead and subscribe to that.
I remember I actually personally reached out to this guy and I was like, man, like this thing's amazing. Like, can we get something? And it was just, he was like, it takes so long to animate and stuff. So that conversation didn't really go anywhere, but it was totally like a dude, like just congrats on making something so cool. He made it, and then the next day someone re-uploaded it with sound effects because his didn't have any sound effects. It was just the beautiful animation.
Right.
And now there's this whole short with the actual Star Wars sound effects.
Has Star Wars sound effects, which he gives due credence to Lucasfilm and LucasArts, actually. No, Lucasfilm and Skywalker Sound, I believe. But what's cool about this to me is that he could have done a lot of things with this, right? He could have gone 3D with this. He could have made it look. I mean, he's got a very distinctive style. And I'm not sure what if he could have made it look any different because it's his style. But his style is very much anime in the late 80s, early 90s.
But it has the polish and the
it's super polished
HD look of modern anime. Like that, there's no modern anime that looks this good to me.
No, I mean that's what's amazing about this. Obviously, he took his time to make this, and I don't know. I heard some reports say it took 4 years. Some report that says it took a couple years. I'm not quite sure how long it took him to make. Paul, if you're watching this, let us know in the comments below. But it's definitely very polished. It's definitely cool, and it's got that fun 80s like musical short feel to it, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing that I saw when I watched this that popped into my mind was MTV used to do this thing called Liquid Television a long time ago, which was like a block of anime shorts, and that's where like Aeon Flux came from. There's another one called, I think it's Global Racing or The Running Man or something like that, that I showed you earlier. And these were just beautifully done slices of anime that you could just experience, right? I'm sure, I was a kid when I watched these, so I'm sure there was a lot more to it than that. But my nostalgia factor comes into play, and I remember these as just being like, blow you away, 10 minutes, you never see it again. And that's kind of what we're getting here, except we're taking that and we're combining it with the world's most beloved franchise, which is Star Wars.
Oh my god, it was so cool. Like,
right.
I was like totally enthralled for 7 minutes, and it's one of those things where it's like all it was a fight. There's no VO. And like,
yeah, you can even tell that he may have thought about flirting with the idea of VO because there is lips.
There's lips.
There are people talking back and forth. You see the captain of the X-wing squadron talking to his squadron, and then you also see the general of the Star Destroyer talking to his fleet. But for the most part, we get just sort of pulse-pounding metal.
Just action. Well, so here's my thing. Whenever you see something that's amazing, it's one of your first reactions to pick it apart and like talk about things you don't like.
Sure.
And watching this, it looks so good and it's so fucking cool that like my first reaction is like, oh, this isn't Star Wars music. It's like kind of Star Wars music. Like there was like hints at the Imperial March and there was hints at the at themes, but it was like different. It was super hardcore metal and stuff, which is very anime, but is not Star Wars.
Well, that's why it was fun, right? Because you can tell if you want to watch, if you wanted to watch Star Wars cartoon, just watch the Clone Wars, right? You got that, or any of that stuff. This guy has a style. He does it clearly for fun.
Yeah.
Because on I forget what you were showing me a link earlier where it said, I don't have a Patreon, I don't have a Kickstarter, I don't have an Indiegogo. Just share this.
Just
link.
share this with your friends.
So
everyone share this.
Enjoy
it's
it.
Freaking awesome.
And I don't think he's here. I don't think he's doing it for. recall an ad playing before it, so I don't think he's doing this for the money at all. I think he's doing it just for the sheer fun of like, what would that style of anime look like when you marry it with Star Wars?
Yeah.
And this is what it is, and it really does work. And again, yes, you're right. You guys, you can go watch it. You can pick it apart if you want. You're not going to want to.
Why bother? To keep going
just
down.
Go watch it. It's cool.
That path though, like, it's so cool, and like to me, it was just the music just felt a little off and it only is noticeable. Not that the music's bad, but just that it's just not up to the same amazing 10 out of 10 quality that the video is.
I disagree a little in that. I think it's perfect. I think it's just good for what it is. And again, I remember, I'm bringing nostalgia to this where I'm like, I'm trying to think of another anime that just this sort of reminds me of. Not Akira, Kevin. What's the one with that was like God damn it. It's like metal. It's like heavy metal. Did you ever see Heavy Metal? Very much reminds me of that, which is like kind of surreal. The music is obviously heavy metal, and you're getting these cool visuals with it, and that's kind of just what it's all about.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the other thing is just like if there was the VO, if there was like, because like, man, seeing this, I'm like, I want to know the background of these characters. I want story. I want that like epic
story.
Anime, like Japanese voiceovers. That's just like, it just gives it that extra level. But it's like, man, even without that, it's so awesome. Yeah. Like we watched the entire thing, and it was just like,
just sat there.
We just sat through it. Like we're just like, holy shit.
Like,
there was even parts where we like went back and looked.
Oh
and,
yeah.
Like, holy crap. It was so fucking cool.
Yeah,
and the camera motions and all this stuff. And it has this really weird, like almost 60 frames per second feel.
It's very fluid. That's the craziest thing about the animation is. And I noticed that in the credits, he had a couple 3D, like some help from 3D. So I don't know how much of the actual stuff was 3D because it's very popular right now. But if you watch something like Archer or any 2D television animated show, you'll see 3D elements in there. I mean, Archer plays with it a little bit.
Pretty much any anime you watch is, I would say, 20% 3D.
3D, yeah. So, but what I couldn't tell on this was I thought the opening shot with the and you'll have to excuse my lack of knowledge of the things in Star Wars, but the little God damn it, you see it in Hoth.
It's like a scout droid.
Yeah, the little thing that you see in Hoth and Empire Strikes Back, where it's
like a camera droid.
Then,
almost.
Chewie shoots it, and it's like, that thing looked like it was 3D, but the cell shading on it was so beautifully done that you can't really tell. Yeah. Like the actual. I don't know what he did with it, but it had moments of extreme fluidity, and then also moments where it was purposely sort of like jerky, and that gives you that one like we're just sort of skipping frames as we go into someone's helmet, as we go into their eye, as we go through their eye into the back of the ship, and then we're back into the battle, which I thought was really, really cool. And then that to me hit very, very close to home with my favorite anime of all time, which is Robotech, where you would see those epic space battles, and specifically. The thing I loved was it had those little touches back that harken back to the time of Robotech, where you would see, or a lot of people probably say Gundam or anything that revolves around mechs, where you see the little ports open up on the side of the ship and like the missiles that are there, right? And they're kind of getting loaded, and then you see that beautiful arc of like 24 missiles that are coming out and just engulfing the X-wing as it's kind of going up and down, which is something we never see really in Star Wars. That's not traditionally a Star Wars space battle, a type of space battle that you see in Star Wars. So marrying those two styles is really, really cool. And to your point, I mean, I'd love to see more story. I'd love to see a full movie of this. Yeah. It reminds me of is it not Mad Cats? That's the guys that make controllers. Who are the guys that do like the Japanese anime style Marvel movies? The guys that did a Punisher, they did an Iron Man, they did
all the really bad ones.
They're not bad. A couple of them were okay. One of them was okay.
Oh my god, no.
It reminds me of that, where it's like it's sort of you're marrying these two styles, except it works.
Yeah, that's the difference here. This actually looks good and is really cool. My thing's not loading up right now, but if Oda King 77077 has a Twitter, go tweet at him and tell him that you want a kind of funny animated short of us in a space battle, because we want to make that happen. Oh, he does. Paul Johnson does. It is OTA KING 77077. So tweet at him, let him know that at Kind of Funny Vids definitely wants to work with him, and that he's the coolest dude in the world. Let him know we love him. Let him know we appreciate what he's doing, and let him know that we will wait for however long it takes. Oh yeah. If he wants to endeavor on this with us, we will supply him. We will do, Tim, dare I say, the 20 minutes of work it takes to record our voices and give them to him. Yes. And then let him animate arduously over the next 4 years. This short, we're willing to sacrifice that time commitment for them. Also, also let him know how cool he is, because he has 119 followers. So please go follow him and tell him that Kind of Funny Vids sent you. Yeah, because my God, he deserves way more than that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Any closing comments? I mean, that was
That's
just
so
it
fucking
was just
cool.
fun.
Like
this
this is a perfect example of one
I
of
hope
those
it doesn't
videos.
get taken down.
Yeah, we'll see. But this is one of those perfect videos that I want to go home and show everybody I know. Like, this is one of those tentpole video internet moments.
Which is crazy because they're coming fast and furious here at us now because we just had the yeah, I said that on purpose. We just had that damn awesome Power Ranger short that happened too.
I know.
And you're like, dude, 2 for 2. What's going on, internet? Awesome. Everyone's finally starting to put out. Maybe I guess maybe people just started back in the day before when YouTube first was a thing, and now they're just getting to a place where they're putting out all their awesome work. But Paul, thank you for that. It made our day. And that's all she wrote.
That is. Ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments what you think about this. Again, go tweet at him. Go thank him for his beautiful, beautiful work. Until next time, keep coming back.